I used to often wake up in the middle of the night, smile and blankly stare at the wall with my eyes open. We used to pray namaz and read the Quran every day. Yet, things happening in the house were unnerving. If you would like to know if your house is haunted by a jinn, these are the signs. This is a story you must hear because you will get to know everything in detail. It's going to be a long episode, but towards the end you will understand everything. Hi, my name is Desmond and welcome to another episode of SYWK podcast, where you can find everything related to the paranormal. If you enjoy my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Now without wasting any time, plug in your headphones and enjoy. Back in 2016, I used to stay in Dasit in one of the buildings opposite to Kim's hospital. We had already been living in a 2-bedroom flat for 8 years, and then we shifted to a 3-bedroom penthouse. There was a huge balcony connected to 2 rooms. The first was the master bedroom and the second one was a kid's room which was given to me and my younger brother. Plus we had the 3rd room which was converted as a guest room. Ever since we shifted to that penthouse, my parents kept constantly fighting for no reason. Things had gotten so ugly that they had almost decided on a divorce. We never realized why things were going ugly until we left the house. But while we lived there, a lot of incidents happened. We used to hear random noises from above, although we were living in a penthouse. My parents' room always had an eerie feeling. Once we had a lot of guests over, so I had to sleep in my parents' room. I had a vivid nightmare where I was being dragged from my parents' bedroom window to some kind of dark basement by a scary shadow. I woke up screaming and my parents had to move the cupboard which was covering the damn window to show me that nothing except the window existed. Once when I was getting ready around 5:30 am for school in the guest room, I heard a noise, but I ignored it at first. Then the noise started getting louder and it sounded like someone was walking towards the guest room. I legit heard the sounds of the heels of boots along with the noise of something being dragged behind. Then it stopped. I put my ear next to the door and tried to listen to the noise. After a few seconds, the noise went in the opposite direction where it came from. When the noise stopped, I stepped out and followed where it went and even looked out of the balcony window. It was dark and I saw nothing. Again, I did not think much and went on about my day. As a child, I also had a habit of sleepwalking, but it's mostly me doing some random things. But in this house, as confirmed by my brother and father, I used to often wake up in the middle of the night, smile and blankly stare at the wall with my eyes open and then go back to sleep. As I used to share the room with my younger brother, he has often seen me doing this. Once when my dad saw me, he tried to put me back to sleep, but I kept staring at him until I passed out. He said I looked so terrifying when he re-encountered the incident. My brother always said he heard someone whispering and calling his name when no one was around. If this wasn't enough, there used to be a raven that always sat in a bathroom window. Ravens are an ominous sign in our Muslim culture as they are associated with the presence of jinn. This was a fact we learned after we left the house. We also tried maintaining our garden on the balcony as my parents love plants and my mom would grow her own mini vegetables. But no plants lived beyond 2 months. They died no matter how much water and good fertilizers we used. In the guest room, no one really stayed except for my uncles. According to one of my uncles, one night while he was sleeping, he felt a slap on his face when he was alone in the room. Whenever I used to go to that room, I felt someone was watching me through the balcony door. As both the rooms had glass balcony doors, we had covered them with curtains. But that eerie feeling of being watched was never gone in that creepy guest house. Leaving the house was quite difficult as we couldn't find any smaller flat to move in. And whenever we did get a flat, somehow we were never successful in booking another flat. Whenever we discussed anything at home to shift or relocate, it wouldn't happen. It felt like the house or some entity did not want us to shift. Our businesses had been failing at that time. We stayed in that haunted penthouse for 2 years. We used to pray namaz and read the Quran every day. Yet things happening there were unnerving. But then one day we found another flat which was close by, where we shifted the same day without discussing it and leaving most of our furniture behind. When we left the house, businesses slowly recovered and so did my parents' relationship. After a couple of months when we visited India, we were re-encountering our odd experiences to our relatives, and then we learned that we were all being cursed by a jinn. We did not know how serious the situation was, but my relatives said it's a good thing we left the house before something really bad happened. Well, I hope you learned the different signs from this story. In case if you know any more such signs, DM me on Instagram, or if you're listening to this episode on YouTube, please comment below. In case if you have learned something from this story, please don't forget to share this episode with your friends and family and make them aware. If you have any such experiences, please feel free to DM me on Instagram, or else you can join my YouTube live which I do every Tuesday around 11 PM Indian Standard Time. Thanks for listening and I will see you in my next episode. Ciao.